Hey everybody, we are back. It is Artosis and Jarosar.
Hi guys.
And we are going to be casting a nice little TVZ going on, one of our last Terrans in all of Asia.
That's right, man. Endangered species. They're going out of fashion. They're becoming extinct. We got to catch them while we can. And this guy, actually, I'm really excited to see this Terran play because he did all right earlier. But first, his opponent, spawning in the bottom left, guys. You see him on your screen now. He is Nilon. Oh, yep. And his opponent was confused there. Wasn't sure which screen I was watching. But he is going to be playing against this Zerg guy, spawning in the bottom left. Ladies and gentlemen, Revenant.
All right. So, Nilon, I really don't know much about this guy. You were casting him before. You were mentioning that he did reasonably well against Rain, which is a tall order.
No, he really did. I thought that Nilon played quite well against Rain. It's just that, unlike maybe the style that we see from players like MVP and Taja, he wasn't very diligent about sniping off observers.
Yeah.
And because of that, Rain sort of got into a position where both sides were playing quite well, but Rain could see what's coming. So there were things like drop ships lost and things like that that could have otherwise been avoided. Mm-hmm. But aside from that one thing, I actually thought he was playing pretty well. So that makes me pretty excited to see him play here against Revenant. But of course, Revenant, pretty good player as well, and a fantastic guy. It's a bit of a shame that one of these guys has to bow to the tournament here, man.
Yeah, but that is the way things are. And we'll see if Revenant can fight back against it. But if he did that well against Rain, that's pretty impressive. So I'm feeling like it might be hard for Revenant, our one player here from Singapore. So we will see. It is a quick gas build from Nilon, which is very uncommon. Very, very uncommon.
So you might want to go up to those reacted Hellions super quickly.
Yeah. I think that's
before he puts down a command center or anything like that.
Yeah, I do think that's probably what it is. And just scouting that. I mean, what Revenant has to do here is turtle up a little bit and figure out what's going on. Is this just reacted Hellion to expand? If so, do you go extra queens? What do you go for exactly? Because it's up to you. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can make spines, you can make speedlings and spines, you can make queens. There's a lot of ways to do it.
Well, the choke here on Cloud Kingdom for Revenant is such that it's actually almost mildly frustrating because you can get a spine crawler to cover the choke and cover the ramp, or cover the choke and cover the mineral line at the natural, but not really all three of those.
Yeah.
So you either have to get two spines, or you need to really SimCity the hell out of your base.
Yeah.
And in order to SimCity the hell out of your base, you need to get that early creep trimmer down so you can actually get the creep to the choke point. And we don't see that coming down from him just yet. So we'll see what he chooses to do, but he has to do something.
Yeah, he has to do something in pretty quick. He has taken, I guess he has taken a gas just recently here. Okay, he starts a spine crawler. Does have two queens. I'd love to see him make two more queens. And one does start, and that's a start. I mean, he needs to wait for a little bit more money to do any more, but good choice. I mean, he should be safe from it, but Nilon is going to have map control for quite some time.
And he's not mining from his gas at the moment either, and I don't think he's put any SCVs back on it, so I wonder, could we maybe even be seeing another command center go down?
What? I think we're going to see that. I mean, I'm pretty fairly certain that that's Nilon's plan here. Get out those early Hellions. It seems aggressive. Is it? No, it's triple command. And in fact, he just started it, so there you go.
Wow.
Completely correct there, Jorazar.
So now it's really up to Revenant to sort of scout this and go, wow, okay, so you're actually playing a bit of a greedy build, and then decide what he wants to do with it. Because if he doesn't scout it, maybe he won't be taking a third base or something as soon as he otherwise would have, and realize, oh, you're spending your minerals here, you don't have that big an army, maybe I can expand myself. Or he might go for a big 2-base timing, but the biggest mistake he can make right now is to sort of sit back and do nothing.
Yes.
And just keep going as if it was a normal game.
And it looks like he's chosen what he wants to do here, and that is going to be a very quick layer, and he's going to 4 gas on this layer, so definitely could be a Muta build, definitely could be an Infestor build, with no Evos out, I want to lean towards it being likely a Mutalisk opening, like a very quick Mutalisk. And that's something that's gone back into some popularity just because of the huge amount of like Hellion Banshee builds we've seen.
Well, they're really good against... obviously, they're really good against Banshees, but the reason they're good against Banshees is because you want to try and push them away before they ever get to you in the first place. And if you have a Terran player that's invested in Cloak, and you can get them further out from your base and force them to Cloak when they're still halfway across the map, they run out of energy that much quicker as well. And it's all obvious when you say, well, Banshees can't shoot up, but the Mutalists just do so much more than that, you know?
Yeah, they can't even shoot sideways if the Mutalists is at the same level, unfortunately, only shooting down. But,
drunk Banshee drivers, man.
Look at this. That's nice moves right there by Nilon to stop Revenant from actually getting around anywhere.
Those Hellions are really tightly clumped as well, which is nice because the Lings can't just randomly sort of go between them and get a nice surround off. And that's really annoying because the Hellions sort of shoot in every which direction when you A-move them. You have to click an individual Ling to get everything, and it's just so frustrating. So it's good that he's keeping them super compact like that. And he's just going to be checking to see if a third base is down, but I don't think that's enough DPS to force a cancel or anything like that.
It takes a while to force a cancel with Hellions on a hatchery, that's for sure.
He's going to try.
And he certainly is going to try, and he might actually be able to get it, to be honest. There's only, how many Lings are there out there? There's only 26, so 26 Lings is not what you need to deal with that. I think he is going to get that cancel, but there is going to be a counterattack during this time.
Well, I think sort of Revenant looked at that and he went, well, I'd rather just do a counterattack than, oh my goodness, talk about clutch timing.
But it's still going to break through.
Oh, that was so close, man, and these Lings are going to be able to do so much damage, and, okay.
So he saved the hatchery that way.
I guess. I don't think his intention was to save the hatch. I think it was more like, well, he has so many Hellions, I'm just not going to attack into this with my Zerglings because that just looks like suicide. So I'll go for the counterattack, and I don't think he expected it to do this much damage. But that was really good, and like you said, he saved the hatch too. That's pretty useful.
Yeah, it certainly is, and he sees exactly what's going on. 3 command centers plus mech. And he has 10 mutas on the way against someone who has no anti-air. He has 1 Thor about to pop out, but 1 Thor is not even close to a match for 10 Hellions.
That's really, really cool. And that hatch is a little bit poorly, to say the least, but the mutas are now out, and that's a pretty handful of them, man. And this is a situation where you really don't want those Hellions to be too clumped up. A couple of shots from those mutas, and they will actually all go down. And Revenant looking like he's going to be following this up with even more aggression. 20 Lings on the way, but preemptively going +1 missile attacks with that Roach Boring.
Yeah, you can't stand Mutaling too long against mech. It comes really bad. And look at this, a nice magic box on the Thor, targeting this Thor down. And let's see, the SCVs are repairing so well, but don't forget the splash damage hitting a lot of the SCVs as well.
Yeah, the mutas basically just need to take out the SCVs at this point, because the Thor's not doing too much splash damage to the mutas because you've magic boxed them, right?
Yes.
So you just want to hold position the mutas and let them hit the SCVs, and that's when the real damage gets done. It's not actually the Thor. And wow, well, 35 workers killed to 0. That's decent damage, man.
No, it seriously is. To kill 35 SCVs and now even more going down. He's killed off 2 Thors. Nilon,
he's falling apart.
Nilon is pretty dead. I mean, 37 supply to 97. He's only got 19 SCVs left. His units consist of a Hellion and a Thor.
And one of those can't shoot up, man.
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty rough.
I tell you, there's not much else left for him here. Even though he hasn't left the game at this point or hasn't said GG, we have a bunch of Roaches on the way with +1 and speed. So when he goes across the map, how does he stop that?
And the Thors are so slow as well. I mean, let's say you get a couple of mutas into the main, and admittedly he will, but not for much longer because he's not microing them, and... oh dear, well that was that. But you get a couple more into the main, he's got +1 flyer attacks just about to finish, then you sort of get a couple of Thors up there, and the Roach is coming through the natural... what can you do with that few SCVs? You just can't build anything, man. In
fact, I think this is going to be the death blow to Nilon, and you know, after all the great things I've heard about him, I thought he'd be able to take the series handily, but Revenant's showing that, I mean, he's got a lot of skill inside of himself, and with these Banelings and Roaches, 100% this will end the game. There is no possibility Not even Marine King would stay in the game after this attack, this upcoming attack.
Well, it's going to be pretty fearsome indeed. The Banelings are still chilling out at the Watchtower. It looks like Revenant just waiting for a couple more roaches to move. I like that he's moving the roaches out in front just in case, like, I don't know, random siege tanks happen to appear or something and they focus them down. But the supply depots go down straight away, and the SCVs are running towards the Banelings because all they really want is a big hug. And, oh, good God, the carnage. Cover your eyes, children. This is terrible.
Everything just going down. He's killed a ridiculous amount of SCVs once again. Oh, even burrowing. But in fact, there is a scan there. He's killed 63 SCVs now.
Yeah, that's... I mean, he's killing off some supply depots, but the supply isn't even being used at the moment, and
Manor Hatch.
Let's share a base. There's enough minerals to go around for everyone, man.
There certainly is with no SCVs.
Oh, wow.
There. But a really strong play there by Revenant, our Singaporean player, taking out Nilon. Okay, guys, we are back. It's game number 2. Let's go ahead and introduce these players. Why don't you take it away, Jorosaur?
That's right, guys. Get ready. We have, spawning on Antigua Shipyard on the left-hand side position, is the blue Terran player. He's currently 1 game down against his Zerg opponent. What will he be able to do? It is Nilon, who will be facing off against the red Zerg on the right-hand side. Our player from Singapore showing some impressive play in game number 1. We have Revenant.
Okie dokie, it's time to see what these guys have planned for this map. Nilon in that last game, of course, going for the really quick Hellion into triple command. Not a terrible build, but definitely not one we see that often.
No.
Whereas Revs, well, I mean, he just kind of went for quick muta and killed all the SCVs. You know, he did a really nice Ling run by at a point where, you know, there was really no defense left at home for Nilon.
And the magic box on the Thor as well near the end of that game. The SCVs repairing that Thor actually accelerated his death because the mutas just held position and all the SCVs died instead of the Thor, and it was like, oh, this is actually worse.
What's the name of that choice? It's like the choice of having the baby cut in half or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? No, hold on.
What kind of novels do you read, man?
There's like some Sophie's Choice or something. What is this? God, I know there's something. Someone tweeted at me. I'm Artosis on Twitter. He is Jorosaur. This is Jorosaur.
No, you.
Oh, no. I thought you were like a dinosaur.
No, man. Just Jorosaur. S-A-R at the end, dude.
I think your middle name probably begins with R.
Really?
That's my guess.
No.
But anyway.
Don't tell them the secret, man.
What I'm trying to say, though, with this terrible diatribe is that it's such a hard choice. What do you do? I mean, do you not sit under the Thor and take all the splash damage?
Yeah.
Well, the Thor dies quicker then, and then they can target your SCVs. So, it's just, what do you do, right?
Ideally, you have 2 Thors, and you don't have to worry as much
there
about
you go.
magic boxing.
Ideally, you have 2 Thors.
Some Marines, maybe? A missile turret or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, any of this would have been great. But yeah, here we are. And once again, he is going for a really quick factory. And will he just go into Reactor Hellion into another couple command centers? I feel like he probably will.